According to the U.S. Census Bureau, taken in 2015, 17.4 million lived in father-absent homes in the year 2014. And 92% of parents in prisons are fathers. Hello, my name is Robert Kaufman, and I'm a father of 5 boys. And I grew up without my father in my life. He left at a very young age. So I know the struggles as a young man growing up without that positive male role model. And I use that as fuel and energy to make sure that I raise my kids the right way. And there was a lot of examples and some people that really put things into my life that now I can use. So today we're going to discuss kind of what's going on. And we're going to dive into the example provided by the Bible and King David. And then finally we're going to conclude with what we can do as a group. So to start attacking the problem, you first need to know the basics of what's going on. So according to psychologytoday.com, an article, which is the link is provided in this outline, our society wants men to accept obligations of fatherhood, but they are not respected for doing so. In the media, fathers are portrayed as clueless, hapless buffoons, or occasionally as violent abusers. Social policy and social science have affirmed for decades that it is perfectly fine for a woman to raise a child without a husband or father. So the media plays a huge role in what we think about men in general. You see the woman without the husband raising the kids, and they almost glorify it. And when a father is involved, like I said, buffoon, you look at Al Bundy and some of the other fathers that you see that we grow up watching. And what's that doing? What that's doing is providing a conduit into our kids' head that's subconsciously telling them that it's okay to grow up without a father, that you can do it. And that's the devil attacking our culture and through the media. So we have to be careful about what our kids are watching, and that's why with the male influence not around, then it confirms not only their surroundings, but what they're seeing on TV. So with today's ever-growing media influence, the Bible always provides a great example for what we can do as men. So what we'll discuss now is King David, and my information right now, I'm going to read out of 2 Samuel 15. So the Lord sent Samuel to Bethlehem to pick a king. Do not look at his outward appearance or his physical stature, because I have refused him. For the Lord does not see as man sees. For man looks at outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. So you know, to change anybody, to help anybody, you change from the inside, not just outward appearance. Next is 2 Samuel, and the Lord caused the son of David and Bathsheba, Uriah's widow, to be very sick. David prayed to God for the baby. David fasted and went into the house and stayed there, lying on the ground all night. The elders of David's family came to him and tried to pull him up from the ground, but he refused to get up to eat food with them. So if you know to the story, David slept with Uriah's wife Bathsheba and then ultimately killed him. And that generational curse of really his downfall was his portrayal of women and how he interacted with him. And as I further read, you'll see how that was generationally. In 2 Samuel 13, David's son Amnon rapes David's daughter Tamar. So again, it goes down to his son. And it goes down to his son again in 1 Kings 11, verse 4. For it came to pass when Solomon was old that his wives turned away his heart after other gods, and his heart was not whole with the Lord his God, as was the heart of his father. So you look back at that, David, his heart was after God. He loved God, but Solomon turned from him and he looked more towards women towards the end, even though he was known as one of the wisest people to ever walk the face of this earth. So King David shows us some things that can happen generationally if we don't present that positive image. It makes you wonder, what can we do? So what we can do is we can pray for our children. If it wasn't for my grandparents praying for me and constantly telling me about God and always looking at Jesus, I wouldn't be where I am today, because that's cemented in my head. Anytime an issue came, I can always see my grandmother telling me to pray. But what we can do is be a positive role model. You can go to www.bbbs.org, Big Brother, Big Sister, volunteer there. Or look at your local YMCA, www.ymca.net. Look for opportunities, but you always go to your local church and get involved with the youth programs. So now we have a basic understanding of what we can do. Let's recap. So what's going on is the media is attacking us, the devil is attacking us. And we can always look towards King David as an influence of both what can happen good and bad. Next, or finally, we discuss what we can do, whether it's the YMCA or Big Brother, Big Sister, get involved with local youth group. So what I ask you to do is get involved in children's life, be that Christian mentor. Tell people to always pray like my grandmother did, and leave them with this last verse in Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. That's my plan for you. That was my grandmother's plan. That's the Lord's plan.